It's 6 in the morning, maybe 6:30. It is moving day. Yeah, the cats are really hungry. Sweetie. So I am moving down to the city today. I ran out of kibble yesterday, so I'm gonna have to get some kibble once I'm down there. So today the cats are gonna be having wet food for breakfast, which is a delicacy. I actually used to give them wet food only, and then I would get woken up at like 6 in the morning on the dot by Mushu because he wanted the wet food. And so I had to switch to kibble, which don't get me wrong, I mean, he still wakes me up, but he's not as vocal about it. Yeah. Oh, I know. I've gotten most of my packing done. There's just a few little things here and there, like the stuff that's in my bathroom and like the cat stuff and the litter box. Okay, come on everybody, party time, come on. So, I have it where my driver's coming this afternoon. And so I ended up having my mom, she's gonna help me come move. I'm so grateful. So she's coming to Mexico tonight. It was a nightmare trying to get the cats figured out with the plane. We're staying downtown. We're staying in the city. And then flying out a few days later. And we're each gonna bring a cat in cabin, which I'm really nervous about because I haven't flown with my cat on this long flight. It's like a 13-hour flight. So I did my research. I will be bringing like wet food and a little bit of kibble with me on the carry-on. And then I also have a collapsible litter box with some litter so that they can, you know, relieve themselves. And I thankfully got everything sorted out with the vet. On my way down, I'm going to be picking up the paperwork, like their health certificate, and then what else? Oh yeah, and then he prescribed gabapentin, which they've tried it before. It worked really well. Besides Moosh, he's just so vocal. Like on my flight here to Mexico, he was crying the entire time. Okay. So the vet was like, oh, he probably wasn't prescribed enough. So he weighed him again, gave him a new, like a little bit of a higher prescription, or like a dosage. And yeah, fingers crossed, you know. I'm actually so ready to leave. I am so ready to leave. Don't get me wrong, I'm like very grateful for this time. I'm very grateful that I was able to sit with my feelings. And I know like breakups are not easy, especially with these circumstances. And I know that there's still a lot for me to process, but I think that I need to be around people who care about me and be around my community and not be so isolated. So, which is interesting because I do really love being alone. Like I spend a lot of my time painting alone. Like I just spend a lot of my time alone. I'm a very like independent person. But with the added stress of like not having water, not having heat, running out of gas, like all that kind of stuff, I just was like, nah. It's just a whole other added layer of stress that I just don't have to put myself through. So I'm grateful for this time. I am grateful for, you know, the things that I made and like really, you know, art related and really sitting with my feelings. Like I definitely had those moments of just like sobbing, like falling apart because everything that I thought I was creating was kind of an illusion, you know? And also grieving the future and all of those feelings. So I'm glad that I gave myself the time and space to process it, but I'm also really eager to step into this new chapter and to leave. So here we go. After packing up all of my belongings into a few suitcases and my cats, I waited outside for my driver. There isn't any Uber up here, so I have to coordinate with him basically anytime that I need to go to the bottom of the mountain, which is just an extra added step, but it's okay. Okay, I had to stop by the vet on my way down the mountain to pick up the cat's certificate for their flight. So that is very beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay, so hopping back in the car and making my way to the city. Okay, I just got to the Airbnb in the city. This is where I'm going to be staying for the next couple days. My mom is landing tonight and we're going to fly to Brazil. That was like the only way I could have figured it out with the cats, where basically I had to have another person to bring the cat with me. Hi, Bill. It's such a cute place. I'll show you. So here's the kitchen. And then living room. I just put all my luggage there. That's a little litter box for them. Oh, what's going on? And then in here, I think this might have been a washing machine. Yeah, it is. But I don't think that is a dryer. Let me see, because if it is, that would be really good. Hi, Poosh. Hi, you did so good. Yeah, I think that's not dry. That's like a squeeze the water out. I wish it was a dryer, but I'm gonna have to go to the laundromat. Yeah. Okay. And then in here is the bathroom. Standing shower with the sink. This is so cute. All of these little shampoos and creams, little soaps. And then in here is the closet. Nice. And the bedroom with a beautiful window. This isn't a full balcony, but I'm also not going to open it because I know Mushu and he will most definitely jump out onto that patio. But yeah, this is nice. It feels... Am I a city girl? I think I've just been like isolated and in the mountains for so long that like having... Oh, there's an iron. Having an iron is like... But no, just little things, you know what I mean? Like there's like a reception up front, like all the little toiletries and electricity. It's really nice. So I am actually gonna go do some laundry at a laundromat nearby. I have to find that. Meet a girlfriend for lunch, pick up some things at the ceramic studio, and just enjoy the city. That's my plan for the day. So holy moly, I made it. Yeah. All right. It is now the next day after a much needed good night's rest, and I found a cute little cafe down the street. I think that this is the closest thing that I found to education here in Mexico. There's a lot of really similar dishes to Brazil here, but one thing that really threw me off, it's really, really close. It's basically the same thing, was that when you ask for a quesadilla, you have to ask for it with cheese. In the States, it already comes with cheese. A quesadilla implies that there's cheese, but here you have to ask for a quesadilla with queso. because the quesadilla is just like, it means a folded tortilla. Okay, there's a lot of noise going on because obviously I'm in a public place. The lighting is like, I don't know if you can see this on camera. It's kind of like, you know, when like there's the action movies and it's like you can see the cuts, or like it's like a nightclub scene. Ooh, yeah, like fluorescent lighting maybe. Woke up really, really early this morning. I woke up at like maybe 4:30 in the morning. And first, I actually slept really well. Like the bed was really comfortable. But I was just so cold. I was so cold last night. There's like a comforter, but it's not very thick. Anyways, so I kept kind of waking up in the middle of the night, on and off, and the cats were, of course, like super freaked out. I kept hearing them trying to open the cupboards because they like to go inside. They like dark spaces. Yeah, so I woke up really early. I journaled, showered, like took a hot scalding shower because the shower at the apartment in the mountains was like warm. It would never really get really, really hot. And like, I don't know how it works, but the furnace, is it a furnace? It's like a water heater thing. It's like installed in the wall. And if I showered for more than like 10-15 minutes, it would emit like a really bad smell in the bathroom. Like, I'm like, I don't know if it was carbon monoxide, like I have no idea, but it would just start to like sting my throat. And I'd have to like open the little window, like this little kind of a bay window up top to get ventilation. It was like, like I could only take these like 10-15 minute showers and the water wasn't really that hot. So I took a scalding shower and it was wonderful. And so then I left the house. I have to go buy cat food. I ran out of kibble, so I have to go get kibble. That's where I'm at now. I stopped at a cafe because I just know myself and I'll like go without eating when I'm anxious or when I'm like stressed out. And so I told myself I'm gonna stop at the first cafe that I see, which was this one, and I found Bunch of Queijo. So it worked out. So my mom was actually supposed to land last night at like midnight, but her flight was delayed. And so she's actually landing this morning at like 11 or so, 11:30ish. And then we're leaving tomorrow, which is so fast. But today my plan is to go to the ceramic studio, pick up the final pieces that I have there, like the final reveal, and I'm so excited. Like I honestly was so shocked at how they turned out with the bisque fire. Like even the I'll put a picture, but like even the kind of shorter, rounder cups, I had painted with like 3 different colors, and when I went to pick them up from the bisque firing, they were just all orange. Like even the blackest black was just like orange. So I'm curious to see the nuances because my friend who works there was like, oh, it's gonna look very different once it's glaze fired at like a higher temperature. So let's see. I think regardless of how it turns out, I'm just gonna be excited that they like exist, you know? So yeah, that's my plan for the day. Came to pick my mom up from the airport, and she doesn't know that I am here. She thinks I'm still in the city, or like at the Airbnbs where we're meeting, but I came here to surprise her. And she had just texted me that her bags had started to drop from the carousel. And so I'm kind of like hiding behind a pillar waiting for her to come out. Okay, let's see. She doesn't see me. Doo-doo!
or for sure. Or the girl. So nice.
It was such a nice surprise, and we left the airport and made our way back to the city to our Airbnb. It's gonna be 6 in the morning. It's moving day. My mom landed yesterday. My mom and I ended up walking around the city yesterday, just doing some last minute errands. I had to like pick up some laundry, pick up some things at the ceramic studio, and we just kind of wandered the city, went out to dinner, and then came home. So I am doing my final packing today. We had to like reorganize all of our luggage yesterday so that we have the right amount of checked bags. And so I had to like consolidate one of my bags into one of hers and all the stuff that comes with moving. So I got everything packed for the cats. They are coming on as carry-on with us, like under our seats. And so I logistically just have to figure out, like, I got a travel litter box for them. And I'm like, okay, I can put litter in like a little Ziploc bag, put that in my bag. My brain's just like an endless list of to-do things. Endless list of to-do list. Anyways, I am, of course, a little sad that this is my last day in Mexico, but I'm also really excited to leave. I think that I did the things that I needed to do. Like, I feel like I really sat with my emotions in complete isolation. Like, I was talking to my mom about it yesterday, and I thought, oh my god, so for like 6-7 hours a day, I would go down to the studio in the city and to the ceramic studio, and that would be the only time that I would have human contact for the rest of the week. Because I was in like the middle of the mountains by myself. And no, so I'm really grateful for that time. Like, it was really, really difficult, but I felt the things that I needed to feel. And of course, don't get me wrong, like, it's not just one and done and it's something to check off a list. I know I'm still going to be processing a lot of emotions, but I came to a certain clarity so quickly. Like, so quickly. I think I just learned my lesson. I was like, I deserve to be loved in the same capacity that I love, if not more. Like, I deserve a partnership that also pours into me. And with that, it was just a lot of grieving, like a lot of grieving for the future I thought I would have, for the future that I was building. But I can still have that future, and I will still have that future. It'll just be on my own terms. You know, it'll be on my own. So yeah, I am grateful for the time that I spent here, and I'm sure I'll be back in Mexico City at some point. I don't think to live, but I'll definitely visit. It's a beautiful city. I just don't think that it's my city. So I'm gonna get organized, gonna shower, and get ready for checkout. When I look back on this footage, I just laugh because I was just so naive as to what was in store for us.
Well, I'm still in Mexico. It has been a fucking nightmare. So the cats. First, I got here early. I went to check in, had all the paperwork for the cats, and they were like, "No, you have to go to this office downstairs and get a stamp from them." Okay, so I go. I wait an hour in line to even be seen. Then, thank God, the lady in front of me was like, "Yeah." There's like this paper on the window that was like, "Oh, you should be doing this process like 3 to 5 days before your flight." And I'm like, "Shit, what?" Like, I did my research. I did not see anything about having to go to an office. And so then I was like talking to the lady in front of me, and she's like, "Oh, you have to get copies of everything. Like, they need copies of everything." And I knew it was one of those things where like the lady behind the counter was like really mean. And so if I had like waited in line and seen her and then she would have sent me away to get copies, and I would have gone to the back of the line. Like, it was that kind of a situation. So my mom waited in the line. There was a copy place at the airport, so I went and got copies of everything. Came back, was seen by her, but we missed our first flight because of that. And she like had documents for everything. They had to do this like physical examination on the cats, and then we went to check in, and they were like, "We can move you, no worries, but you have to pay for the flight change fee, like the difference, and then you have to pay for the cats, and then you have to, what else did they say? Oh, and they were like, oh, the way that the bags are transferred, like with the system or whatever, we ended up having to pay for like 2 more bags and then hope that we could call them to get a refund later, is what they told us. Whatever. So, and it's like 45 minutes before the flight. Okay, like they had started boarding. They gave us our boarding passes, checked the bags. We went through security with the cats. I'm like running. We're like running to the gate, and they're calling our name as we get there. And then the guy behind the counter is like, "Oh yeah, actually, like you both need your like a second Brazilian identification." What? Like I had my birth certificate from Brazil, and we both have dual citizenship, and like he was saying, oh no, like you need another form of documentation, when like because our Brazilian passports were expired, and you're allowed to fly into Brazil with an expired passport if you're going to renew it. Like as a citizen, you are allowed to fly in with an expired passport. We're telling him that, and he's like, no, like per the website, you need another identification. And so we were like denied boarding. And the guy was so weird. He was like, yeah, we had another passenger that like had this happen to them, and he's like, look, showed me on his phone like her documentation, like all of her information, like a photograph of her birth certificate. And he was like, yeah, look, we could let her board either because it's just a photo. And I was like, first, why do you have a photo of this? Second, why are you showing me? Like, this is totally a breach of security. And I would know because I used to work at the fucking airlines. So anyways, now we're picking up our bags, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Like, I think we're going to end up having to go to the consulate so my mom can get her a copy of her second identification, like Brazilian identification. Probably going to have to stay at another Airbnb. I gave the cats their medicine. They got a pectin already, so they're just fucking zooming. And that's just where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know whether to cry or laugh. Like, so I just need to leave. Like, that's kind of where I'm at.
And left we did. We checked into our Airbnb and I was absolutely exhausted, but I woke up to such a beautiful sunrise. Oh my god. So, yesterday was incredible. We did not get on the flight. We instead came to the city again. We're staying in an Airbnb for one night near the Brazilian consulate so that my mom can get her birth certificate, a copy of her birth certificate. So, and hopefully we can hop on the same flight, like the same hour, same time flight today. But oh my god, that was the most stressful thing. It'd be one thing to be like traveling and already get your flight messed up, but traveling with cats is a whole other thing. I had just given them their medicine, and I'm like I have enough medicine for them for the trip today, but it was just like logistically just a nightmare. Like they're woozy, they're probably comfortable, I have to go to the bathroom. I didn't have any time to like bring them to the litter box. But today's a new day. I have my coffee. It's maybe 6-ish in the morning right now. Yeah, I'm ready to leave. I am ready to leave. I think my time here is done. So I'm gonna finish my coffee. I'm gonna shower. and repack everything.
While my mom had gone to the consulate early in the morning, I was focused on repacking, and this view, I just really miss the city.
I'm in the middle of packing and I just got a call from my mom that she got the paperwork. Ah! Oh my god. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, so now I just need to finish packing this up. I have my little portable litter box over here with the cat stuff. Um, and then I have to somehow figure out how to stuff all of this into my backpack. But I'd rather have this problem than any other problem. So here we go.
We are on our way, and I fit everything into my backpack. The cats are packed away, but pissed because they absolutely hate car rides. Moosh was crying the entire time. And after we got to the airport, I had to go back to this godforsaken checkpoint for the cats because the airline agent said I needed it, but turns out I didn't. So, haha, I boarded my flight, hopped on the plane, and couldn't be more relieved that I was physically on the plane. I think this was just such a difficult chapter in my life, and to be able to put it all behind me and finally be at this point where I'm actually reconnecting to my culture and to my family, I couldn't be more excited. But oh my God, this flight was so long. I think it was 13 hours to Sao Paulo, and Moosh was crying for the entirety of it. When we stopped in Sao Paulo, we had to pick up our bags, do the same thing all over again, go through security with the cats, board the flight. I gave them one other dose of gabapectin to calm them down, and I was just absolutely fried. I look dead. But the cool thing about this flight was that I was sitting next to the pilot on our previous flight. So that was nice. And then we finally made it to Brasilia. I actually grew up coming here, but I have never lived in Brazil as an adult. I moved to the United States when I was 4 and was fortunate enough to visit regularly during the summers, but this feels very foreign and I don't know what's next, but I'm really excited to see all of the different colors that I can find here and to learn more about where I came from after I recuperate. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.